Hello, I'm Julie.
I'm Andy.
And what a year it has been. We've taken a year's sabbatical, we've done loads of travelling, and we've documented it all on YouTube. Yes, we started a YouTube channel at 60.
60, I know. I'm Andy.
And I'm Julie.
And we are a 59-year-old couple just approaching our 60th birthday. Get the crutches out.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? We've had quite a few questions, both on our Instagram account and our YouTube channel. So we thought we'd do a little bit of a Q&A session to end the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, I've been organised and I've got them on my phone. So I think they kind of sit into 4 different topics. 1, our year out. 2, the YouTube channel. 3, relationships with others and ours. And what's next?
Still together.
Right, so first question. What was it like to take a whole year to travel?
It's just been amazing. I can't say there's not been a negative for me. I think before we started, Julie was a bit more nervous. It took her longer to wind down from the job. And you were a bit more nervous about the downtimes that we would have between the journeys that we had. But I've got to say, I didn't have any of that trepidation at all. The whole experience has just been one big fantastic. It's just been a fantastic journey and a massive learning curve for all of us, for both of us.
Yeah. And I think in some of the downtime we've visited friends, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we did that cold water swimming in Devon. Been up to see Dad loads of times, which has been fantastic.
And there was one memorable downtime where we were expecting not to do anything, and because we were off work, we had an invitation to sail to the Isles of Scilly, and because we weren't working, we could just say yes, fantastic. Let's just do it.
So our motto actually changed, didn't it, in that period to Carpe Diem.
Seize the day.
Right, next question. What was your one outstanding moment? Perhaps we should have one each here.
Yeah. So mine was on day 4 of our Machu Picchu trek, climbing the steps and going through the sun gate, which leads to the view over Machu Picchu itself. Just amazing. And we'd had really bad weather for the day before. It was raining all day, so we were quite nervous that actually we would get to this sun gate and get to Machu Picchu itself and have it covered in cloud. And it was just a glorious morning with the sun shining. A major trek. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't Everest expedition. We had porters doing all the hard climbing, but we still climbed to 4,200 metres.
We're almost at 4,200 feet, I have to say. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. Oh, we're nearly there.
And it felt like just an incredible moment. Incredible moment.
Yeah. And I think mine, when we were sailing, we had a 5 a.m. shift, and I was with our friend Tim, and we had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was stood at the wheel, what do you call it? Helm of the boat, and the sun was rising, the water was flat, there was a beautiful sunrise, and there were dolphins. Even now I can feel my hairs. Yeah, it was such a beautiful moment. Moving on, did you learn anything about yourself?
The big takeaway for me is I wasn't at all nervous about the downtime, but actually I did realise as the year went on that the downtimes were becoming harder to fill. The need to do something with that time started to get really strong.
Yes. Did I learn anything about myself? That I am definitely an adventure junkie. That was scary up there.
You'll be able to swivel
so high
on your right heel on that rock.
Adrenaline going now. And I found that when you're coming down from those big adventures, I definitely felt flat. What was the best thing that you ate?
Lots of good eating experiences. The best dining experience that we had for me was we were in Martinique. We had climbed up a mountain, climbed back down, very tired, driving along the road, trying to get to a beach that was known for sea turtles. I was starting to get the point of being quite hangry. I get hangry, and we came across this little restaurant on the beachside, overlooking the bay. It was full, wasn't it? That lunch was an amazing lunch.
I think mine was the first day we were on our 4-day Inca Trail trek, and we stopped for lunch, and the chef on the side of a mountain made the most delicious trout ceviche.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That was amazing.
So and really surprising as well. We weren't expecting to have that level of food.
No. So we've just got a question. What did we do with Teddy, our border terrier, when we were away? Well, the good news is he had a lovely time with Granny Annie. He had a lovely time. But when we were in France, we took him with us, and he joined us in all our adventures, which included canoeing down the Dordogne, lots of walks and hikes. And then when we've been at home, we take him everywhere, absolutely everywhere. He does all of our adventures. So we've just got a question. Best places we've stayed in our travels?
It's quite a lot. For me, one of the ones that stands out is Columbia, Salenta, and we stayed in a hostel. It wasn't really like a hostel. No. It felt like a boutique hotel, and they call themselves the Coffee Tree Boutique Hostel, and it's right on the edge of Salenta. Fantastic, beautiful gardens, reception hall, and kind of crash area with massive high vaulted ceilings. And
I think mine was Lua Coulon, which was, I'd like to say a homestay, but I think it was more of a retreat. And you know when you kind of going, wow, it was just beautiful. Right, next question. Oh, worst moment. I was already nervous about going to South America, safety-wise. And I was very nervous about landing at 4 o'clock in the morning into Bogota and then having to get over to the hostel. We had planned that a taxi would collect us and take us to our hostel. And we landed, and that...
the hostel allegedly arranged it for
us. Yes. Anyway, they hadn't, or they'd forgotten, or something had happened. And then getting an Uber and taking us through the streets of Bogota at 4:30 in the morning was, for me, it was very scary. So we've got to our last question on our travels. What's your top tip for taking a year to travel?
My top tip is plan it. Definitely. You don't have to plan it to the nth degree, but I think every journey that we had a plan about what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. We needed to know roughly where we were going, who we were going to do it. So things like how do buses work in Colombia, choice of hostels, even if we didn't book them well ahead. I don't think we did when we were in South America, but we had an idea of the hostels that we thought we would go to.
You did a lot of research, particularly for Vietnam.
And the other tip from you was...
Oh, travel light, yes, travel light. We bought rucksacks, and even when we went to Vietnam, which wasn't backpacking as such, we just took our backpacks, and it makes life so much simpler. And we're moving on now to questions that we had around our YouTube channel. First question, why did you launch a YouTube channel?
It was Julie's idea to do it. To be honest, I wasn't fully engaged in it to start with, but I saw it as a way to document our adventures and a place to store that documentation. I think you had a deeper reason.
So I suppose my reason was we follow quite a few sailing channels.
West corner of the Caribbean. Don't expect to get the trade winds because you almost certainly won't.
But I really loved following these people, and I loved the people and watching these families travel. It was in the back of my mind, I thought, oh, people will love following Julie and Andy on their year out. And maybe deep down I thought we were going to make $1 million. Well,
some money.
Some money. That hasn't happened. But I've really enjoyed documenting our journeys.
And we've learned so much as well.
I think that's been one of the good things about our downtime is we edit videos. We've had to learn how to create videos. Editing, and it takes quite a long time. Kept me really busy during these downtimes, and I felt as a real sense of achievement when I pushed the button to launch a video.
Well, so the biggest downside for me, right at the start of this journey, I'd said to Julie, if you're going to film me, You need to tell me that you're about to film me so that I can prepare my face, me sucking my tummy, etc. Anyway, I don't think in the last 12 months there has been an occasion where you said I'm about to film me.
Are you filming?
Yep.
Oh, I don't remember you saying that.
Oh, downside to YouTube. Oh, well, it's seeing yourself at 60.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Which is linked to what I was saying, really.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I have to delete. Yes, yes. That is a bit sad when you see yourself in your full glory at 60 in front of the camera.
Although, as a very close friend of Julie always says, is in 10 years' time we'll look back at that and think, my goodness, how young I look.
Yes, yes, I hope so. Next one. Was it worth launching a YouTube channel at 60?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth doing at whatever age. You know, I mean, the reason we've asked that question about at 60 is because we've had a number of comments where people have said, oh, you've done really well, you know, especially at your age. So we've not really, I don't think we really thought that age was a barrier.
Yeah.
I think it probably is a barrier. I think the biggest demographic of people who look at YouTube are younger people, and they probably want to see other young people rather than people our age.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'd say if you want to do it, just do it. You know, carpe diem. Let's go. Sorry, I've lost my questions. Was it easy to create videos?
No, and I think I can't remember what the rest of the questions are, but one of the things that you do when you start. So we started just with our phone. And then we got a gimbal, and then we've got a 360 camera, and now we've got a DJI. I think it's more about learning how to do it than actually the kit that you've got.
Yeah. I think when I look back at our first or second video, I realise that we have moved on a lot. But equally, there is something so nice about our first videos that's so raw in a way. Yeah.
I think the biggest challenge, and Julie's so much better at it than I am, is the hardest thing is learning to treat the camera as though you're talking to somebody. Morning and welcome to Sarlat. We are sitting in Le Festival Cafe. We've snuck in and not be so self-conscious because the camera's there. I mean, for me was the biggest challenge.
Yeah. So, relationships. Did you meet many people on the way?
I think every single good experience we had for this whole year has involved people that we met. Probably the one that really stands out, again, it was Machu Picchu, doing this trek. It was a small group, it was Julie and myself, rather, the porter as a guide, and a young lady from Australia, Natalie.
Yeah.
He was just so up for it, just so friendly.
And then we were on a cruise in Vietnam, Lan Ha Bay. There was a family, and they were Swiss, and we just hit it off.
Yeah, we did.
Which was lovely. I suppose the thing that you're all wanting to know, if you watched our very first video, are we going to get bored?
Divorced.
How have we got on spending so much time together? Are we still together?
There is nobody else I would have wanted to do this with. We watched a programme the other night, and I thought it was a really nice phrase.
You are my person.
And so there is nobody else I want to do it with, and I don't think there is anybody else I could have done it with.
No.
All of the adventures we've shared in them together. You know, if I've had a bad moment, Julie's had a good moment. But I don't think we've both had bad moments during the 12 months together. There's always
we've argued a bit about YouTube. So YouTube is the only thing when we've thought about but we've worked our way through that, and that's been a positive thing as well. I do like my own space, and when we were in France, Andy came back for a boys' tour, and it just ended up that it was a whole week because of flights. And I actually had a fantastic time.
So did I.
Yeah. So you realise that you do need space, and when we're at home, we do try and give each other a bit of space, don't we?
Yeah.
Whether it just be walking the dog or going to see friends or having space in the house, and I think that's really important. No more questions about relationships. What's next?
So what is next? So I think number one, we are going to keep the YouTube channel going. The next 4 weeks, we will be producing a series of videos that will probably be about our search for property in France and some of the detail about how it works to buy a property.
Yeah, we've got a few videos coming up that we did pre-Christmas.
Yeah.
Some kind of big hikes we did in Derbyshire and up in the Lake District. So
Yeah.
we've got those. We are going back to work. I have got a date to go back to M&S, and that's the 1st of March. There are plenty of adventures, but they're very different, and there'll be around work, and there'll be more of a budget. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We want to thank you, our subscribers, for following our journey. Please continue to make comments. It's great to hear from you. Continue to like what we're doing, because it just gives us a boost of confidence. And if you're not a subscriber, then please join our tribe.
Yeah, and also just worth mentioning, as well as the YouTube channel, we've also got an Instagram page as well, so we'll put the details of that up on the screen, and if you want to catch up with us on Instagram, then yeah, that'd be great as well.
Oh, and final thing which you can help us with, our YouTube channel and our Instagram are Julie and Andy's Year Out. Obviously we're coming to the end of our year out, and we want to call our YouTube channel, Instagram channel, something else. So if you've got any ideas, please drop them below. We'd love to hear from you.
We want to keep on being curious though.
Bye from Julie.
Bye from Julie, sorry, bye from Andy.
Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Bye.